Hi guys, this episode is brought to you by Food Junkie, your Afro-Caribbean frozen meals delivered to your door within 24 hours.
Man.
This week I'm eating boneless jerk chicken with J-Rice.
And I'm eating sweet chili boneless chicken with J-Rice.
And all you've got to do is go on their website to get a 10% off right now. They have oxtail, curry goat,
jerk chicken.
hey, a more bare
Lamb
options.
suya.
Beef suya.
Lamb patty.
Cheesy beef patty.
Anything, bro.
Everything. But as said, all you got to do is go onto their website. Right here, as you can see, you've got J-Rice, rice and peas, boneless barbecue chicken, boneless jerk chicken, curry goat, oxtail. Look how many options there are.
This is endless, man.
And honestly, if you're a family, or even if you don't even want to cook during the week and you just want to stock up on food, this is the place to be. 10% off right now on their websites, verified by Don't Tell My Wife podcast. We catch you guys later. Peace out.
Peace out.
Summertime chilling, EQ spinning, contracts loyal, so I'm counting the digits. Stir with the pan roof, just whizzing. Waiting on the roller, you know that's living. Catch me in the booth, yeah, just.
Black wealth is another big one because there's so many things we need to like. Debunk.
Do you know what I found interesting? Topics.
We're not recording yet.
Well, yeah, but
You know,
we are.
yeah,
That's,
but
that's TJ.
That's TJ.
Hey.
Oh, cool.
How are you, bro?
Nice to meet you, TJ.
You know, topics that we've done recently that we didn't expect,
Sorry,
like
let me
My
move.
Do Alright, is we did one on the real income and wealth of Nigerians in the UK, and that's they've received that quite well because like there's a lot of Nigerians in the UK,
Yeah.
right? But like, how well are we doing compared to social media, right? Yeah, so that's an interesting. Like, you see what I'm saying?
I feel like a lot of Nigerians, I feel like we appear like we're doing well. In terms of like, a lot of Nigerians drive Mercedes. We drive
this is
these
it.
things.
This is exactly it.
We appear like we're doing well. But are we actually?
Yeah.
But then again, you can say, what does doing well, what does it mean? What does it look like to you?
People,
So,
yeah.
that's
different
another
for
conversation.
different
Because some
people.
people's conversation is, I'm doing well, I live in a nice car and I drive a nice car. I mean, I drive a nice car and I live in a nice house. That could be doing well to certain people.
Right. Yeah. So hang on. So we're gonna sign a sec. I want to ask. So you said testimony. Who said testimonies?
Yeah.
Testimonies. So you said, what would you like to see on a podcast?
Yeah.
What would be yours?
No, I think, like you said, black wealth.
Black wealth.
100%.
But I want to get one thing from every person.
Weddings.
Right. So, what do you think's missing in podcasts to do with money and finance?
Financial.
Yeah. What would you like to see? And you're like, wow, that got my attention.
Trying to think.
Also, like, real life couples.
Real life couples.
Yeah,
Okay, I like
so
that.
like-
Okay.
A dilemma. Or, similar to like dilemmas, but it's like my husband doesn't show me how much he earns or something like that. Like just topics that people could probably relate to.
Okay.
To bounce off what he said, I'll say real life scenarios. I feel like a lot of finance topics is like real life, but not real life.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
I want to hear about certain loopholes that if you got cash around you could do, or like do you get what I'm trying to say? Or even like the challenges of trying to maintain lifestyle, but also future.
Yeah.
That's that people go
That's
through,
true.
know
You know,
what I'm
that's a
saying?
trying to do lifestyle and future.
Finance podcasts are usually just so strict and that it's like I'm not strict. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, a lot of people with that it's like they don't want you to enjoy now. It's always for the later.
Right.
No, it's bad, man.
See, these are the Nigerians we're talking about.
I hear it.
Are you both Nigerian?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. What tribe?
Yoruba.
Ibo.
Ibo. Same. Ibo.
yeah.
We're both Ibo. Well, he's half
I'm
Ibo.
half.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, my wife's
Interesting.
Yoruba.
Your wife's Yoruba?
Yeah, I'm half
Oh,
Igbo,
so you're
half
like
Rivers.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you
What
guys
are
are
you?
Ibo.
Yoruba.
as well.
Yoruba. Oh, okay.
Okay, so we're the only two fully Ibo.
Ibo Queen.
Wait, you're both Ken?
Yeah, we're both Ken. Wait, what's the Ken? What's the full name?
Kenneth.
Kenneth. Okay, I'm Kennedy.
Kennedy. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, cool.
Okay, cool.
Ready to go?
I'm good.
Yeah. Alright, cool. Hello and welcome to another episode of Don't Tell My Wife podcast. Here with one of your hosts, Tonye.
It's your boy Ken.
Yeah, man, back again. Another episode, another week.
man.
Back again with two very special guests.
Big guests in the
A
building.
lovely
man.
couple. Some would
Yes.
even say a power couple.
No, big proper power couple.
Power couple.
Proper power couple,
they
man.
try.
A lot for us to learn today.
Yeah. Another
Yes.
financial episode
Yes.
and how to manage our lifestyle.
Come on, man.
But obviously, if you guys can introduce yourselves. And,
Yes. Listen, welcome, man. Thanks for welcoming us, actually. We're really honoured to be on the podcast.
Yeah, very excited. Thank you for having us. So I'm Mary.
I'm Ken. Second Ken in the room.
Yes. No.
We're husband and wife couple. We've been married for 15 years.
15.
Happily married.
Happily
I know I'm disrupting your intro, but I was saying I can't wait to be able to say I'm 10 years married.
Double digits,
I can't
bro.
wait to hit that number. But no, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We both run an online educational platform where we teach people how to basically use their money well. So take control of their finances, grow their money, and work towards a dream life of financial independence and money joy. So we run a platform called Humble Penny. We've been doing that since 2017.
2017.
We've been doing that since 2017. And we're also best-selling authors.
Yes,
Right.
Times best-selling authors.
Best-selling authors.
Come on.
Accolades.
Yeah, man.
Guys, thank
Yeah, and we, a big part of our journey is Mary and I have been managing our money together. We became financially independent in our mid-30s, became mortgage-free in 7 years. We've been sharing our journey so other people can level up, our families can, also do similar or even better. And we've done it raising 2 kids. Our son turned 13 today.
13.
Yeah.
Happy
and our
birthday to
second
your son.
son is 11. Yeah, I got 11-year-old and 13-year-old.
Yeah, wow. I wouldn't think you guys have sons that are like basically
teens,
teenagers. You guys are young.
But then,
Oh,
you know
thank you,
when
man.
you have money, money
It's
makes
money
us
No, thank you for coming. You know when you said obviously we're 4 years married, so we're still early.
You lot are still
We're still
honeymoon.
No, so when you say 15 years, like happily married,
Yeah, man.
what does that look like, and how did you do it?
Do you know what? 15 years happily married, it basically means that I'm even happier than when I got married newly. Wow. That's what it means.
That's nice.
That's what it means.
Yeah.
Because over time, you grow more in love, you get to know each other. We complete each other's sentences. We say things
ridiculous.
so we think exactly the same things a lot of the time.
And say it out at the same
And
time.
say it out loud, yeah. Even like we hear something on radio, the next response is the same thing.
Yeah.
Now I just think that you're anticipating
No, you're
what I'm going
copying
to
me.
say, and then you just say it. Just stop it already.
So yeah, and do you know what? It's also, I'd say, God's blessing because
God's grace.
marriage is it's not an easy thing, and we've seen people, our friends, have divorces and have difficulties, have challenges in their marriages. We were actually one of the first in our age group to get married. Actually,
okay.
probably the first ones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So to actually still keep going and also be doing this work that we're doing, where this work is now, its purpose, its impact is massive. So we're not only married couples, but we're also life partners and business partners. And, you see what I'm saying? So for some people, that might be like a bad idea because they're like, oh my God, we're always together. But for us, I think it's just great. We laugh at each other's dry jokes. We just get each other, right? And that's good. And I think it's good to be friends as well. Like really, like 100%. Truly understand that friendship dynamic because then what you're building on has a lot more strength. It's built into solid ground, basically.
Okay. And also, you said that you were the first in your group to get married. What made you take that bold step at the time?
Bro, listen. So firstly, have you seen how beautiful my wife is?
So you're not allowed to say anything. You're not allowed to say.
You're not wasting time, boy. So as soon as I met Mary, so we met in October 2009.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said to myself that if firstly she's single and we start dating, I literally give myself 1 year and I'm gonna propose.
Oh,
wow.
That was my thing.
Yeah.
And I did exactly that.
How old was you at the time, sorry?
Oh, I was 28, 27, 28.
Okay, that's
So I proposed to her on her 27th
Okay.
birth. Yes. Yeah. So I was a month ahead of her.
Okay.
So 27, yeah.
Yeah.
And the 1 year was amazing. Like we were getting to know each other and I started planning my move.
Yeah.
And proposed, and 8 months after we proposed,
We got married.
What, 8 months after?
Yeah.
Quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
But then sometimes it's like,
yeah,
what
man,
you waiting
like,
for already?
we just got on with it.
Yeah.
And for me, there was no doubt. Like, you know how it's like some people are like, oh yeah, I'm locking off all my chances. You know, I was like, yeah, like I've won the lottery. Like, you know, life's good.
Yeah.
And it's been like that. You know, we've gone on, started a family.
Yeah, 2 boys.
Yeah, man. Built our careers together, and because I had a corporate career for about 14 years before we started the Humble Penny and all of that.
Okay.
And so did Mary. You know, years of corporate, experience. And then in 2017, we started the Humble Penny, just as a side hustle. I was working.
Passion project.
Passion project. Yeah. But a day job. Mary had a day job.
Yeah.
And we just did it on the side, just like this
Just
podcast.
literally.
Amen. God,
Yeah.
And then today, like, we're authors, 2 published books.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, whoa, like,
Yeah.
how? You know, it wasn't in my vision, certainly.
God's grace.
God's grace. Yeah.
100%.
So,
What's the age gap between your 2 boys? 2 years?
20 months.
20 months?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, mine's 19. You know what?
Oh,
Can't lie, I'm liking
it.
Yeah, man.
It's seeming
Yes,
maybe
it's similarity, you know.
There's similarities. So maybe it's my trajectory's gonna go like that soon.
Amen to that.
Amen.
It's a good setup. I mean, you suffer a little bit in the beginning.
Yeah, no,
because your hands are full.
Yeah.
Right?
But then they're like best friends. You don't have to worry about setting up as many play dates because they keep each other company.
Exactly.
And also the clothes, like you can just pass that.
Yeah, that's what we've been doing.
The best.
Yeah.
We're going through the fighting each other moment.
Yeah.
Of course.
So yours are what,
That-
4?
No, mine are, so one's 3 and one's about to turn 3, and then one's one in like 2 months.
Yeah.
So,
First they started early.
Yeah, no, they started the fighting early, man. Like, it's serious fighting, but character building, that's what I call it.
Yeah, man.
No, that's
No, big up there, man. Parenting is no joke. You know, it's
not, especially when it's 2. Two's not,
it's no
not a
joke.
joke, man.
Yeah.
It's not a joke at all. No, but thank you guys for coming on, man. Really
pleasure.
appreciate it. So, as you said, obviously 15 years married. How intentional was you guys at the start in terms of like talking about finances with each other and sharing finances?
Oh my gosh, we were actually very
intentional.
Okay.
Like extremely. So we actually met at a property investment seminar.
Yeah.
It was an intensive 3-day seminar where they just taught you about all the different property strategies.
Yeah, man.
That's where we met for the first time. We developed a friendship, which then evolved to a relationship. So we were always had in mind that we wanted to create our own business one day, have our own investments one day. So when you proposed to me, when we were engaged, you booked a trip for us to go to Zanzibar.
Oh, yeah.
And we were planning our wedding on the beach. And as part of that planning process, we also
10-year plan.
decided to come up with a 10-year plan. Whilst we're on the beach, in terms of like what we want to achieve in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
And as part of that 10-year plan, we decided that we want to pay off our mortgage in 10 years.
Yeah.
But because we were intentional about it, it actually sped up the trajectory and we actually paid it off in 7 years.
Yeah.
So from before we actually got married, we were quite intentional about wanting to achieve financial independence.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, at this point, we didn't have a house. So we were making these plans
planned beforehand.
before. So we were effectively speaking it into being.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, environment matters a lot. So like where you meet your partner and the circumstances around that really actually matter. This is what we've learned on our journey. Because it really helps to frame mindsets as well. And almost helps you set a vision for your life as well. It's helped us a lot, actually, just that idea that we met with a similar type of thinking.
Yeah.
But we didn't have very much going for us at all when we met. Like, we were just starting our careers, you know.
You know what I like about that though as well, so obviously what we was talking about before, obviously people will see later on in the year when you decide to launch it. But like that's the kind of stories I want to hear, that at the start you didn't have as much as you had.
No.
And then now you've gone on to do this, and
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
Because that's
yeah.
what helps me think that whatever situation I'm in now, just keep going and then it can lead to that, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
100%.
we started from nothing as a couple. Mary had more
But
savings.
what's nothing though?
Well, let me explain.
Because you know, like your nothing can be my nothing.
Yeah,
My nothing
yeah.
is zero. You know what I'm saying? So it's something, you get me.
So,
Because you
when
said
I
you both
say,
started
when I
off in
say that,
corporate, so-
what did I have when I started? I had a job. I had just qualified as a chartered accountant. Wow. So I'd been training for 3 years and I just qualified. So qualified in 2008, global financial crisis. I then got made redundant.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I was coming out of that redundancy. I met Mary the year after that in 2009, right? So, and I was still finding my way. So I had a job that was giving me an income, but I also had a lifestyle that was matching that income.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't really have savings like that. I had a nice car, really nice car.
What was the car?
Well, it's really nice for the time. It was a Mercedes. So I lived up to my Nigerian credentials, right?
This is what I want to hear. This is
Yeah,
what I like.
So I had a really nice car. You know, back in the day when rims were a thing, you know, like nice rims. You know, like all the subwoofers. You know, I could start the car from the remote. You know, all that stuff, right? Right. So I had all of that. And cream seats, you know. In fact, my mom,
that was the thing.
You know, my mom and dad, they were making a joke.
Yeah.
Like if you see our car now, you saw our car. It's like, I mean, like you know, we've got kids when you come into the car. Now.
Oh yeah. 100%.
But back in the day, my car, ooh, you couldn't even come in with your shoes.
Yeah.
You know, it had to look green, white, you know. So my dad was like, wow, people change, you know. This is your car now. So I had all of that, but this is the key point was I looked successful. So I looked Instagram and I looked, before Instagram was properly a thing. But I knew also that if I lost that job, it would be game over.
Yeah.
Right. I still had financing on the car. I still, all that stuff, right? So when I say I started from like nothing, that's what I mean, like nothing net worth.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Nothing, okay.
So you might have an
makes
asset, but it's
sense.
really a liability.
Yeah.
You might have a job, but like that job's been sucked up by your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Right. So that's kind of the base point. But also when I met Mary, Mary had a Corsa. You know, Nissan car. Yeah. You know, the door could barely close, but it was closing. She doesn't like me saying that. But, the door could close. You know, the tyres were not really matching. One of them did No, but there's a real point to this. But she had savings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm going somewhere with this,
yeah.
right? So there's something there that I was like, she knows something, right? And so when we united, there began to be a shift in my relationship with money, her relationship with money, and then our relationship with money. Because like when you unite, you've got habits that you formed, you've got like ways that you think and stuff. But when you come together with somebody else, they start to question your way of thinking. In fact, one of the things we did was a marriage prep class. Okay. And one of the topics on the marriage prep class was money. Like a deep dive into it. What's your debt? What are you earning?
You had to
I had to lay all your cards on the
How did that
table.
make you guys feel at the time? Yeah, we'd like to just lay everything out on the table.
It was fine. As in, to be fair, it wasn't anything terrible. I had like a tiny bit of student loan debt. It was like so minor. Didn't even really think about it. We ended up just deciding to pay it off.
Interest though.
It was. In the end, we just paid it all off because like, why incur interest when you can pay it off? And then did you have any debt? I don't think you did. Apart from the house.
I had car loan.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Had some overdraft.
Okay. See, I don't remember. It wasn't really.
It wasn't to the point where you're like, wow, like I can't deal with this.
It
kind
wasn't.
of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
It wasn't a deal breaker. It wasn't a red flag for me. Like, as far as I was concerned, I was confident that you were doing everything possible to pay it off, to pay it down.
Yeah. And I had my career had promise because I trained as a chartered accountant and I was starting my career now at the very beginning. So Mary met me as I was just about to begin my career, as well as I met her just as she was beginning her career.
Yeah.
So we were like, oh, okay, well, you know, like we're starting from.
So let's say a couple today, let's say a couple meet, they're talking and they go through this marriage prep or marriage counselling that we've gone through. And one of them says, okay, I have 30 grand in debt.
Yeah.
Do you advise the other person to walk away? Or like, how, if you were that person and your partner said at the time, I have 30k debt. And that's the first time they told you. How would you deal with that?
Oh, what the first time they told you is during the marriage prep, but you've been dating before you didn't know.
Yeah, they didn't let you in. They didn't tell you.
Shy.
That's not good. Yeah. I would not be happy about that at all.
Would you walk away from the...
Not necessarily. I'll definitely head them out.
Is it?
It is a bit of a red flag because, you know, why are you hiding that? That's quite a substantial amount.
Yeah.
Especially if you're planning to get married and you know that you're going to, well, it depends. If you want to join your finances, you should, because when you get married, his money and her money now becomes our money, right? So his debt, her debt becomes our debt. And I guess it just depends on how they accumulated that amount of debt, and also, do they actually have a plan to pay it down? What are they doing about it? You know, it really depends on their attitude towards it. Are they blasé, or are they still accumulating debt because of their lifestyle? So that would then determine like what happens next. But,
Do you know what? It's a real tough one because I personally feel hurt because, like, why am I just finding out? Because if you're doing marriage prep class, it means you're about to get married, right?
Yeah,
it's
you're
like,
engaged.
whoa, like, I'm starting to discover financial infidelity kind of thing. Like, you know, I'm starting to find stuff out. So that will create a bit of a trust problem because it's like, well, if I'm finding out about 30k, what else is there that I haven't found out about, right? So that is, it would almost feel like therapy actually, because it's like, so you're telling me that, you know, when we were chatting, you didn't feel comfortable enough to tell me, but now we're with a third party, suddenly this stuff's coming out. So that will create some problems, but I wouldn't necessarily walk away. I think it's just more that I want to Mary's point, I want to understand, like, how did this debt come about? And what type of debt is it? You know, because some debts are worse than others. You know, some, you know, are priority debt, some are not priority debt. Like, you know, some incur more interest, some don't incur as much interest. So,
is this a real dilemma?
No.
Oh, okay.
When we podcast, my mind just goes into different. I just like asking questions.
And I also would want to know how long the debt's been. Right.
Yeah.
So is it a debt spiral? Has it been going on for years, or is this more like, sorry, I made a really bad mistake. This is how it happened.
Yeah.
I signed a lease on a 30 grand Mercedes. You know, and you know. Yeah, so that might be a different story as well.
Okay.
That's a bad debt. That's a bad
What, a car debt is a bad debt?
30 grand.
30 grand is it?
That is,
So, you know when you were talking about that you guys were on in Zanzibar with the 10-year plan, who kind of took the lead in, or maybe no one took the lead, but who kind of took the lead in terms of planning ahead, in terms of thinking about how you're going to deal with money in the future? Because, you know, there's always one person in a relationship that's more like, I think it was Mary though, you know.
Oh, thank you.
I didn't even finish it. I think it was Mary. I don't know why.
So, do you know what? I think it was both of us, but Ken is our home CFO. So he like geeks out with the spreadsheets, the numbers.
I feel like every husband has to do that.
Attention to detail.
Well, that's what you think, right?
Like we dream together, like, you know, have the vision together, and then, you know, we work our way backwards, and then he say, like, practically, in terms of numbers, this is how much we might need to put aside each month, you know, and all of that. So I think, you did
So I do a lot of scenario analysis. So I'm always thinking, if this happens, then this happens. If that happens, what do we do? If interest rates fall 2%, what do we do? If they rise 2%, what do we do? So I'm thinking like that a lot of the time, like a lot. Like,
So do you think that's how people should think then? Because I honestly don't think like that.
Not necessarily. I think. Do you know what it is? I think it's a learned behavior.
Okay.
Right. So I think in decades. So I'm like, I'm here and I'm like, 2026, I'm thinking 2036.
Yeah.
Where do we want to be?
Yeah.
That's how I think, right?
Yeah. No, it's
Not everybody thinks like that, but, and the reason
Yeah.
I think like that is because, like, I'll give you an example. Like, we try to eat well, I go to the gym. I'm doing that because I want to arrive in the future, right?
Yeah.
And if I'm going to arrive in the future, I kind of want to prepare for that arrival, right? Yeah. Just as, we eat well, you try and get your hours of sleep, you try and, you try your best where you can. The same applies to money and marriage and raising your kids. So a bit, like, for example, we went to Singapore. When did we go? 2 years ago. We did our next 10-year plan. When we sat down for 5 hours. We just sat down and talked about our children in 10 years, where they're going to be, our marriage. We looked at different categories. And then we're like, okay, so if we're going to plan for this outcome, if we're going to have a hybrid life, living between the UK and somewhere else, what that look like? We planned, we planned all of that, just so we had. But that required us to, this assumptions thinking, like, what if the UK goes like this way, or what if, that kind of thing, So you're just creating options, because that type of thinking has helped us a lot. Because I give you an example. One of the biggest scenarios we had on our journey was, what if we wanted to change careers? What if we wanted to do something that wasn't like every month there's a paycheck coming, right? What do we then do? And this is actually played into things like the mortgage. Like Mary and I paying off our mortgage in 7 years. We were like, actually, one thing we should do is, if we could get rid of housing costs, then a lot of our costs are actually quite lower. It's like energy and water and, internet and stuff. Then that gives us more wiggle room to take more risk and experiment, start a business, that sort of stuff. So that type of thinking came from, I do a lot of that stuff. I was doing a lot of it in my job. So like building financial models, and because I used to work in the investment business for about 14 years. So across like investment, management, asset management, venture capital. So I worked in those industries. So a big part of my job, in fact, my last role, some of my job was involved in building, like working to help to raise funds, like raise like tens of millions and working with a team. And with that, you need to create, a business case. And with that, you're thinking, investment horizon is usually like 7 to 10 years, for you to get your money back. So I became conditioned with that way of thinking, because that's what I saw in the business world. And then it was like, well, actually, how do we apply that to our personal life as well?
And just to add to that, it's very important that you're both, like, if couples are listening to this, it's very important that they do this together in terms of having a joint vision, having a joint goal that they want to work towards. It shouldn't be one-sided, but then it could be one person who you will point to say, like, make sure, every week you've got all the spreadsheets out, you've got the accounts up, and we can discuss the numbers together. So one person can be in charge of that. That's who we call the home CFO. But it's important for both couples to come together and agree on whatever that the goals are. Because if one person's on board and the other isn't, then just forget it. It's game over. It really is. Like, you both have to be on board, because there is going to be some level of delayed gratification, some sacrifice, but it's fine because you know what you're working towards. And you want to do everything that moves you closer towards your goal, and anything that doesn't move you close to your goal, then it's very easy. Well, it's easier for you to say, actually, maybe we might just park it. Whether that's getting a car upgrade or a bigger home, you make those decisions. It's easier to agree on those big decisions, where couples could usually have disagreements or argue. Oh, is it going to move us closer to our goal? Yes. Is it not? Okay, fine. It just makes it a bit easier.
And with that being said, so obviously, because you guys have spoken on quite a bit about becoming mortgage free in 7 years, obviously I remember listening to a podcast that you guys were on before, and you were talking about how you lived off one salary in order to be able to do that. How was living off of one salary in that time? Was it mainly thinking about the delayed gratification of, this is moving us closer to our goal, so we will sacrifice on some things?
And like, just to add to that, like what practical steps did you take in order to like sacrifice, essentially?
So to answer your first question, it was because we had a goal of paying off our mortgage now in 7 years. So we lived off one income and the other income went.
Hold up. So you guys have gotten this far into the video and you haven't liked, shared, or subscribed? Bro, pause this video, click below, like the video, share the video, and subscribe, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and don't tell my wife to the world and back. Peace out.
Towards the mortgage overpayments and investing in the stock market.
Yeah.
In terms of like, do you say strategies in how?
No, I said sacrifice. So like what like practical steps in order for you to sacrifice to like see reach that goal at the end. So what does sacrifice look like for you?
Okay, cool. Okay, one example is like you mentioned your Mercedes. You love the nice cars. We changed it to a family car, which was an Audi A4.
Ugly ass family. Actually, no. Before we got to the A4, we had, what was it in between? Like this Ford thing that we borrowed for a while from my sister.
Don't remember. Oh, okay.
Do you remember the Ford pickup? Like people.
It's like Escort, was it?
Yeah, like one of these.
Temporary.
Yeah, we're in between cars for a bit.
But yeah, we had the Audi A4, and you know, naturally, I had my eyes on upgrading us to maybe a Q5, because that's what you would do, right? You're working hard. Naturally, you want to reward yourself.
You want to reward yourself.
But one sacrifice we made was that actually the Audi A4 gave us so much problems, so expensive, like the maintenance, and it just packed up on us one day. We just decided, you know what, forget this guzzler. We decided to get a second-hand electric car, and that really significantly reduced our running costs. It cost us like £30 a month to run the car, as opposed to, what was it, £30 a week?
Yeah, like £40 a week on diesel we were doing at the time.
Would you call that a sacrifice?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me elaborate on this point, right? So for a lot of people, their car is part of their self-image, right? So a bit like a title on LinkedIn, you know, like anymore, man. You know, like no, but this is the thing. I don't have a choice with it. But for a lot of people, this is part of like, if you see my car, you've seen me kind of thing. Like
I used to be like that.
It's like an extension of who they are.
Yeah.
But this letting go, this is why I call it a sacrifice, because we had to let go of that image. We had to let go of like your definition of success is if you see me with a big car, right? You're like, you're successful because I can see the car you pulled up in. Letting go of that was actually liberating for us. Because it was like, actually, like,
who cares?
Like my self-worth doesn't come from the car. Like, what I value is the freedom, the options, the choices we have, and the progress we're making towards our finances. So on one hand, it was a sacrifice. It was actually an advantage because all that money and monthly, like we stopped paying monthly and, you know, like, do you understand? Yeah. So we're like, yeah, man, we own this car outright now. Like this is, you know, so all the extra money was now going towards investing and doing more things. Yeah. You know, we made other changes, like small things, like
like date nights, like reducing like date nights, maybe holidays, things like that.
But we did them smartly though. So like holidays, rather than cutting down, we love holidays. Like we actually say it's like our love language. We actually love traveling. Yeah. But we just planned intentionally with collect points. Avios points, companion vouchers. We're just booking in advance. We just got more savvy with trying to get a good deal, but still enjoying our lives. So it wasn't like, like I'm suffering, I'm dying, like because I'm working towards my goals. It's like, no, we're still doing things. But we're just the way we were doing them was different. You know. We did packed lunches. I'd do like what are they called? Meal deals. Like I'd go to work, I'd step off at Charing Cross, I'd go into like the co-op, I get £3.40 or £2.80, whatever the meal deal was. I know, they're still doing that.
I can't like that one, I need to stop. The lunches at work, I'm in the office, let's say 3 days a week, and I'm spending like £10 a day on lunch.
So one thing we used to do was like, whatever I'd cook for dinner.
You
We'll just
take
have
it
to
into
take
work.
it the next day.
Yeah.
So on the days when we didn't have that food, that's when I did the meal deal. Okay. So that kind of stuff was like I'd see like like Paul. There's this like sandwich shop called Paul.
Oh, Paul's, all
the food is like really nice. So I walk past them like and then I walk into Co-op to get my £2.80. So for me that was a sacrifice. It's like I could have had the Paul like £5.80 or but it adds up. By the time you bought that, you bought your drink. You might go like, I want a mocha with that, Next thing is like £8, £9. Or you buy one of those Cornish pasties in the station. It keeps stacking up, right? So for me, it was those, and this actually speaks to a big idea behind the new book we've written, because it's all about small things. So you might think, oh, this doesn't really matter, but it's about how it compounds over time. £5 saved here, £2 saved there, or you might get a takeaway like 2 or 3 times a month, or however many times, where you cut it down to maybe once a month, or twice a month. That one reduction has a compounding effect, because it's something that repeats every month that you've basically decided to let go of, basically. So it's just things like that. It's when you then compound them all together. In fact, we saw this compounding effect when we started doing overpayments on the mortgage, because the more you overpay, the more, I remember it became gamified. Like I became obsessed with it. I had a spreadsheet. I'm tracking in fact, I had a box that we created on the spreadsheet, which was the Mortgage Freedom Day. It worked out. Like if we carried on at this rate, this is like roughly when we would get there. And, so that gamification was exciting, because it's like, wow, like there's...
I've got a question about the mortgage. Did you encounter any early repayment fees?
No,
we didn't.
So what we did was we basically switched to a product that didn't have early repayment.
So
early repayment.
Oh,
yeah. So we had a mortgage broker. We basically said to them, find us a product in the marketplace that allows maximum overpayments, but without an early repayment penalty. And they found it. Same high street, like lenders, but it's not available on the normal market. Like you can't find it on a mortgage comparison site. You can find it via like a broker, basically.
But to be fair, 10% is actually a lot. So if anyone can overpay every month by 9%, it's still not that much. I mean, it's still a lot. It's a significant amount to reduce the amount of interest you're incurring over time. I think another sacrifice was Ken had this crazy idea to have a family food budget of £50 a week. And I would be like, of course, baby, let's do this. But in my mind, I had no interest in sticking to the budget. And every week you'd be like, how much did the food shop come up to? And you would just kind of like sigh when I'd say that it was over £50. And in the end, I was fed up of Ken kind of like, I don't know, just making these remarks and asking these questions. So I thought, do you know what? We're going to have to stop shopping at Sainsbury's and like the M&S and start shopping at the cheaper, the more affordable supermarkets like the Lidl and Aldi. So I would say that was a sacrifice for me, because it took a while to adapt to it. But
for a season.
It was for a season. We're not. Yeah, now we.
But now we're more. We're very conscious about quality of food.
No, you can still have quality food in Aldi and Lidl. To be fair, like you really can. It just depends on what you buy.
Shout out Aldi,
Please. We still shop. I mean, we shop at different places. We shop at, I guess, Aldi, Tesco's, Sainsbury's.
I'm just all about the bargains.
So it depends where we get what we want, basically.
I like what you said, because a lot of the times when you like watch these financial people online, they're like, stop, cut off your subscriptions, don't watch Netflix, don't fly out, no date night. So I like how you said we can still do these things, but there's a smarter way to do it. It's about being savvy.
And even with the subscription thing, it doesn't have to be cut everything off. Some people might have Netflix, Prime, Disney, and something else.
That's
right?
me, right?
Some people might have that. and the
it's the children, it's not me, it's the kids.
I know. And the sacrifice might just be, actually, we're going to keep Netflix and Prime, or we're going to keep Prime and Disney, but we'll let go of this other one. So you're not depriving yourself, but you're choosing to prioritize a bit more of your future. And that's a good thing. Rather than saying, actually, I'll have it all now. It's like, actually, I'll have some of it now, but I'll sow some seeds for the future as well.
Okay.
No, fair enough. So obviously you're talking a bit about mindset and obviously the book.
Let's get into
so like in terms of what actually made you both think, okay, I want to actually start writing books.
Yeah, I want to become an author.
Great question.
Do you know what? We had, so it's interesting what happens when you're surrounded by people doing certain things. We started noticing in 2021, just people around us, our peers, were writing books. Right? We're like, oh, wow, wouldn't that be nice one day? You know? And then in 2022, we were ending the year. Mary and I were just praying about like what we wanted for the year, and you know, and we were like, you know what? Wouldn't it be amazing if like the next year, if like you know, people are getting these book deals, like wouldn't it be amazing if like you know something happened for us at some point, like someone like even like sent us an email to inquire, like you know, and literally like about 2 weeks after we were discussing it, an email came into our inbox to say, hey, Ken and Mary, I'm like one of your YouTube people. Have you ever considered turning your ideas into a book? We actually thought it was spam initially because we hadn't really like...
We hadn't heard of
the public, you know, the imprint.
Yeah.
But it turned out to be an imprint. An imprint's like a segment of a bigger publisher. So like a department.
Okay.
And so, but when I looked up the imprint, it was part of the second largest publisher in the world. So we're like, well, this is like a big deal. So we quickly replied to the email and said, yeah, let's have a chat, you know. And we got on really well. So our commissioning editor, Emily, who's also our commissioning editor for the new book, she's now a commissioning director, I think, been leveled up. Yeah, we really got on, and yeah, we found ourselves in a negotiation basically. So we had to appoint a literary agent, and you know, because we didn't have all the book speak and you know all that kind of stuff. And the agent, you know, went into negotiations for us, and then we started coming up with book ideas. We had to write a book proposal to say, here's the book we think will be a great book out there. Yeah. And also we had to make a case for why this book matters now.
Yeah.
You know, and now, back then was 2024, 2023, and then we released it in 2024. So this is around January 2023. Why does this book matter now? And back then we're coming out of the cost of living crisis. And that's where our idea for the book, our first book, Financial Joy, came. Because Financial Joy, the idea of that book was, or is rather, that most people are basically, a lot of the advice out there says to you, you know, think about the future, invest, but none of it's really focusing on like, how do I enjoy my life now while I'm actually doing all that?
Yeah.
So Financial Joy is bringing together your desire for wealth and financial security. This is the financial piece, but the joy piece is around how do I enjoy my life right now? How do I have that well-being? How do I have my purpose? How do I have my small joys in my life? How do I design a life that brings these two elements together such that I don't feel like I'm living with FOMO basically, or that I'm missing out, you know, and so on. That was the book we proposed to the publisher. And yeah, that was the beginning of our journey as being authors. And then that book came out in 2024 and became a Sunday Times bestseller.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well done. How did you find writing it as well? How was that process?
Difficult.
Beyond difficult. What made it difficult?
Everything. Like, do you know how hard it is to write a really, really good book?
Yeah, like it must
bro,
be. Even writing an essay,
bro, like, so, to put in context, yeah, we ended up writing 130,000 words. A book.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 60,000.
60,000.
So went way over. And because obviously we were very new to this, it was our first time. We thought, it's okay. Like, our publisher will be fine with it. They were like, nope. Nah. You need to reduce.
You need to get rid of more than half of the book.
And so that was really, really, really.
How did you decide to like?
Oh my God.
What did you decide to take out? How did you?
It was hard.
Do you know what?
They did a lot of it.
Yeah, they did a decent amount, but I spent many nights awake cutting. It's very painful cutting your own work.
Yeah, because even you said they cut some. I'm just thinking,
oh, that's painful.
Like, do you know what these hours?
Bro, like, do you know how hard it is
It was hard.
for someone to email you and go, I've just cut chapter 8, chapter 10. I'm like,
We were
what?
like, no,
That's the best chapter. Do you know how much work I put into that?
yeah.
You know?
We were like, no, please put that one
Put that one
back.
back.
Put that one back. Yeah, literally.
So much negotiating, arm wrestling, making a case for, a case against. Oh man, it was really hard. It was really hard.
And we also had a lot going on as well in our personal lives.
Yes.
Supporting family members.
My sister's husband had just died.
Wow.
Yeah,
Very
so that
sadly.
was-
So we were dealing with burial, all the admin, all the, it was just, and I was handling all the funeral stuff.
Yeah.
Plus our son was doing the 11 plus preparations.
Yeah.
It was just like,
a lot.
it was tough. When I say tough, it was not just tough, like it was tough mentally, emotionally, physically. But then when you sign on that dotted line, you're like, hey, I'm writing, you got a book deal.
You have to commit to it.
You've now announced it. You kind of like just go, actually, life got hard.
And the funny thing is, they
so-
give you an advance so that you can focus on the book, but you can't just like forget about your other platforms or your socials. You can't just hibernate and write and then appear the year later and say, "Hi guys, we've written a book. Purchase our book." They'll be like, "Who's Ken and Mary again? Who's Humble Penny?" So we had to keep our socials going constantly, like publish videos on YouTube. We had our academy as well, Financial Joy Academy, where our members expected us to show up
weekly.
weekly for that. So we had those kind of a lot of commitments.
It was
to juggle.
tough. It was really hard.
But we did it. It's funny when you have a deadline, and you've signed, like you said, you have to commit. Because if we had self-published the book, it probably would have taken us like 3 years to write it.
And we had a massive team behind us as well, worth saying. By that I mean, like, everyone had a role to play, from the cover designer to graphics, PR, social media, sales, distribution.
Are they part of the publishing deal or your personal team? So
No,
do you bring
the
them
publisher
on the publishing deal?
they bring all those people.
Okay.
And this is what you get. You basically get a world-class team.
Yeah.
But you have to write the book.
Yeah.
Right? And then they basically now, like, they just make the book look like global. So like our new book, this cover has gone through many iterations, many teams, many people, like every positioning of everything, the quotes, the title, how do we make this a big book? Looking at a lot of research into what are the best-selling books globally, why are these covers the best? How does our cover stand out amongst all these covers? Imagine it was at the airport and someone's like dashing through, they just want to pick up a book. Why would they pick this cover up? Now, this is where the global team come in. Because like Mary and I, we would have just gone like a few days of work and like, we're good. But then the global team, no, they put a line through it, all of that. Right? So that's where a team then matters. This is what you're getting you're getting basically.
How do you guys write together as well? So is it like, do you take it in turns or do you like discuss it then type? Like what's the writing process with together?
I think for everyone it'll be different, but for us, we had a system where I would do a lot of the research, come up with the case studies, the people to interview, come up with some stats and figures, and Ken would bring it all together. There were some sections which I wrote, but we agreed that it's better for it to have like one voice as opposed to it bouncing. It might be a bit confusing for the reader, and he was used to writing.
So I'm writing. I'm the writing person.
Prior to that, we've got a blog.
Blogging,
and we were publishing like 3 blog posts a week at one point, and then it went down to 1. And Ken did a lot of that, so he was just used to writing it, had the tone and the voice. So you put it all together.
We've always worked together with everything. So if I'm writing, Mary's contributing creatively or critically, or she's checking, does that make sense? Does that sound too biased? Does that sound she's bringing that critical editorial expertise, basically.
Yeah.
But then we know a couple, I can't remember their names now, Julian and... but yeah, these Americans, they've also written a book and they took it in turns to write different chapters. So
Sorry. It's a couple in the US who are some our friends, virtual friends, and they managed to do theirs in a particular way where they've taken turns to write. But yeah, with our work, I've usually mostly written, and Mary's contributed in lots of different ways. Case studies, reviews, interviews, ideas.
Yeah.
You know,
That makes sense. So, just a quick question before we move on. When you say Sunday Times bestseller, stuff like how does that actually work?
Yeah. So the way that works is the Sunday Times is the most prestigious list in the UK. It's like the UK equivalent of the New York Times bestseller list in America. The way it works is you need to sell a certain number of books in a period, so like a week or whatever in a period, for your book to come up on that list. That list is like about 10 people, 10 books, and you typically need to sell, depending on the time of year, between 2.5 and 5.5 or 6,000 physical books. Yeah, physical, not the ebooks,
Kindle,
not the audiobooks,
yeah,
Kindle. They don't count at all. It's the actual physical books. Yeah. So our goal and what we were doing with our first book was trying to get in onto that list, because when you're on that list, it's the most visible list, right? And particularly for Black authors, it's very rare to get on those lists, right? Especially as a Black couple. Actually, we may even be, when we did the research, we might even have been the first Black couple on the list. Couples. Wow. If there are lots of single people. But as couples, it's a really big deal.
Yeah, so that's a very big deal.
And because it's a platform, you know, it amplifies you basically. And that list, that name goes with you everywhere now. You're now called a Sunday Times bestseller, and that gives you like a really high profile, you know, and all of it. So it matters a lot. Yeah.
That will never leave my signature on my email. Stay
forever.
Good evening, Sunday Times bestseller.
Yes. Everyone gets sick of me.
Wow, big. Yeah, that's very big.
Yeah,
but do you know what it is? I just want to encourage anyone watching, actually, because like there is a lot to say in almost making things happen for yourself, like because when we say we wanted to become Sunday Times bestsellers, people didn't really think we'd do it. Like a lot of people, not people out there, just more like
peers.
No, not even that, but like even our publisher, like they didn't really even think. They're like, wait,
they're trying to manage expectations.
They're like, well, you guys are not like, you don't have million followers, and, you know, so. You know, you're dreaming too big here.
Was that your first book?
It was our first one.
And we were like, do you know what? We were praying about it, but, you know, our communities, they really came behind us. You know, they were like, we'll make it happen for you guys. You know, people like really believed in our story because we've been sowing into our communities for years. You know, this is it's been 8 years we've been doing this, you know. We're giving. People are like, you know what? This is our time to support you. And people were like, I bought 5 copies, I bought 7 copies, I bought 3 copies. Wow. You know, people just like, like I've just, someone, you know, we send an email, people were like, I bought 2 copies last week, I've just bought another 3 for my cousins. Yeah. People were like, what how far are you from the number now? Okay, I've sent this email to that person. So like, this is like real love, you know, there's a lot of beauty in that.
To my wife, listens, are you hearing this? Are you hearing?
There's a lot of beauty in that, you know. It's like, wow, like imagine like our community coming together like that.
Yeah.
But like we're trying to elevate each other rather than this, you know, like we have this scarcity mindset where you're like, I don't want them to go forward because like, you know, but it's like, no, we're gonna like get behind these people because their success is our success, you know, and that's important because I want this to be normal. I want to be able to come to your book launch and go, wow, bro, like we were talking about this on your podcast, you know, like, you know, and I was saying to you, like offline, I said to you, like, I think all of us should have books, like, you know, and I even posted on someone's, actually Kelechi's did an Instagram post. And she's talking about the publishing industry and how like black people really, we really struggle. I did a comment on that. And I'm like, yeah, we should really be deliberate about supporting each other.
Yeah.
I want to go out of my way to support you. Yeah. Like, put your link. I'll buy 5 books. I'll buy 10 books. I'll put them out. I'll give them to people. We should make that a thing. We should find organizations, buy 100 books. We have connections through work. Yeah. Get them to buy 500 books, 200 books. Get the people into, to do a talk and get them to buy the books of the author. Because if we don't do it that way, we don't get very far.
You don't. Because even the numbers that you mentioned that we need to become a Sunday Times bestseller, you might think it's not a lot of numbers at all. But it is, because people will like your post, they'll do the claps and the high fives, but they won't actually buy. Because there are so many people who have way bigger platforms than us, and they have not become a Sunday Times bestseller. They release their books, but it's because they didn't really ask. We had a very strong, clear call to action. Like, guys, this is what we want. This is what you need to do. Please do it. Have you done it? Like, thank you so much. Have you purchased?
Yeah.
Have you do you know what? Like, share.
Have you subscribed?
Yeah. Do you know what?
Oh, no, sorry. Go
No,
on,
I was just going to say that it requires a lot of like humility. You have to really humble yourself and have that kind of, it's almost feeling uncomfortably embarrassed about the ask. But the great thing about it is, though, that people that purchase these books, they have just been saying how much it has.
The reviews
have been amazing.
Yeah.
So yes, they were helping us, but then they helped us help them because they've been so blessed by the book. Like, the amount of testimonials, the love has just been phenomenal.
And the same thing I was going to say as well, like, even applies right now. Now, we're on this podcast. We have a book coming out in 9 days.
9 days, wow.
19th of March.
Yeah.
So anyone watching, we're literally like, this is our literal appeal.
Yeah.
You might think, oh yeah, Ken and Mary, you guys are, you're sorted, you'll be good. Nah, we need you guys. We need everyone watching. Like, everyone watching right now, we need you. We're not okay, like, just by ourselves. We need people to get behind us, because like, what the mission is, we want to show that wealth is not just for the privileged few people out there.
Yeah.
It's for people like us. It shouldn't just be you hearing Ken and Mary's testimony. I want to read your testimonial. I want to see that you've leveled up. I want to see that your family is progressing. And the way we do it is if we start to share knowledge, we start to share ideas, like what's no gatekeeping, what's working. We've put it all into a book. We're like, literally, here you go.
You guys have been watching us for 1 year, 2 years, and now the 3rd year. Please, if you're feeling us, subscribe to Hush Hush Crew for exclusive content every Monday.
Yes, and that's important, because I want this to be normal. I want to be able to come to your book launch and go, wow, bro, like, we were talking about this on your podcast, and I was saying to you, like, offline, I said to you, like, I think all of us should have books, like, and I even posted on someone's, actually, Kelechi's did an Instagram post. And she's talking about the publishing industry and how like black people really, we really struggle. I did a comment on that. And I'm like, yeah, we should really be deliberate about supporting each other. I want to go out of my way to support you. Like, put your link. I'll buy 5 books. I'll buy 10 books. I'll put them out. I'll give them to people. We should make that a thing. We should find organizations, buy 100 books. We have connections through work. Get them to buy 500 books, 200 books. Get the people into, to do a talk and get them to buy the books of the author. Because if we don't do it that way, we don't get very far.
You don't. Because even the numbers that you mentioned that we need to become a Sunday Times bestseller, you might think it's not a lot of numbers at all. But it is, because people will like your post, they'll do the claps and the high fives, but they won't actually buy. Because there are so many people who have way bigger platforms than us, and they have not become a Sunday Times bestseller. They release their books, but it's because they didn't really ask. We had a very strong, clear call to action. Like, guys, this is what we want. This is what you need to do. Please do it. Have you done it? Like, thank you so much. Have you purchased?
Have you
do you know what? Like, share.
Have you subscribed? Ken does it right.
Do you know what?
Oh, no, sorry. Go
No,
on,
I was just going to say that it requires a lot of like humility. You have to really humble yourself and have that kind of, have to, it's almost feeling uncomfortably embarrassed about the ask. But the great thing about it is though, like people that purchase these books, they have just been saying how much it has.
The reviews
have been amazing.
Yeah.
So yes, they were helping us, but then they helped us help them because they've been so blessed by the book. Like the amount of testimonials, the love has just been phenomenal.
And the same thing I was going to say as well, like even applies right now. Now we're on this podcast, we have a book coming out in 9 days.
9 days, wow.
19th of March.
Yeah.
You know, so anyone watching, we're literally like, this is our literal appeal.
Yeah.
You might think, oh yeah, Ken and Mary, you guys are, you're sorted, you'll be good. Nah, we need you guys. We need everyone watching, like everyone watching right now. We need you. We're not okay, like just by ourselves. We need people to get behind us because like, what the mission is, we want to show that wealth is not just for the privileged few people out there.
Yeah.
It's for people like us. It shouldn't just be you hearing Ken and Mary's testimony. I want to read your testimonial.
Yeah.
I want to see that you've leveled up. I want to see that your family is progressing. And the way we do it is if we start to share knowledge, we start to share ideas, like what's working. No gatekeeping, what's working. We've put it all into a book. We're like, literally. Here you go. Here are all the frameworks. Here are the approaches.
Yeah.
You know, so please order a copy. In fact, you know, there's a saying, you know, you're the average of the 5 people you have around you. Our thing is raise the average of 5 people. Get 5 books. Give it to them. Find all your, whether it's your siblings, your friends, your, you know, even a stranger, gift them a book.
Nephews.
You're literally changing
godchildren.
people's lives by doing that. And you're obviously helping us because that elevates us to a higher level, that elevates our communities, and that elevates all of us.
No, facts.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. Obviously, we were talking about the book, yet we haven't even actually said the title and what's inside the book.
Yeah.
So obviously, you could introduce the book. Obviously,
Yes.
we've got a copy here, of course.
Let's hold a copy together. We like to
Yeah.
do this together because this is how it all came together, isn't it?
Yeah. So the Wealth Habit is, we wrote this book last year. Was it last year? Yeah, we wrote it last year.
Yeah.
Gets released March 19th.
In 10 days.
10 days. And you can buy it from all major retailers, online retailers and bookstores. And this book is basically a habit, a mindset system that makes building wealth effortless, inevitable and sustainable for life. And it's really important because a lot of people think that wealth is built in like big leaps and bounds, but actually it's built in layers. We sometimes underestimate the small things because we're focusing on like winning the lottery or
waiting for that big payday.
Yeah. But
Get rich quick.
Exactly. But that's not really how, I mean, those things are good. But for most people, that's not going to be their reality. And so, this is for whatever your income is, whether you're a high income earner or a low income earner. If you follow these habits and systems, you will be able to build wealth effortlessly.
Yeah, so I want to add as well that, so the title of the book, The Wealth Habit, you might be wondering, because for some people, the word wealth is a bit triggering because they're like, oh yeah, it's just for those people out there. When we say wealth, we mean a holistic picture of wealth. Yeah. So by this, we mean not just financial wealth, but it's about your health, it's about your heritage, it's about your time freedom. You know, all those elements encapsulate what wealth means, right? And a big part of this book is we've written it as a Christian couple. This is actually quite important to us because a lot of people lose their soul in pursuit of money. So we've written this book in a way that means that you always acknowledge where your ideas and wealth comes from. For us, God gives us the ability to create any kind of wealth, and for us it's always to God's glory, the work that we do. So the principles in this book are that so that you don't lose your values, you don't lose yourself on that journey, but you always have things in the right priority, and that's very, very, very important. We've also written this to be global, so anywhere you are in the world, whether it's the UK, US, whether you're in a country in Africa, in a country in Asia, in Europe, the frameworks in this book are applicable. And I want to also make sure we mention that it's not just for people who are Gen Z or millennials. You could be older and these ideas apply. So it shouldn't be that, oh, you feel like, oh, it's too late for me, you know? Because we were literally on an interview today and they were saying like, oh, is this just for young people? We're like, no, actually no. You know, because the ideas in this book are completely applicable, you know? We split it across 4 different pillars. So the first pillar is build the mindset, the first 6 chapters of the book. And that covers all the groundwork you need to do, because everything begins with mindset. Then the next pillar is build the habits. The next pillar after that is build the system. And then the final pillar is build the life. So it's 4 pillars across 20 chapters in the book. Available everywhere, Amazon, Waterstones, all the places you can buy books, I'm sure. Could probably put up a QR code or something on the screen.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, no, definitely we will. No, thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
In terms of, because obviously I'm gonna grab a copy in it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
But in terms of obviously financial joy, I haven't read that either. But
you
I'm
need to
gonna
read it.
I'm gonna go get it. But in terms of that, which one is there a particular one? Should I go to financial joy first?
Good
or
question.
Can I?
So the 2 books serve different purposes and are complementary. So the one word we use to describe financial joy is that it's a reset. So it's there to help you establish a positive relationship with money and take control of your finances. So you're like, wow, I now know how to approach my money and what steps I should take, what strategies I should apply, and so on. But for a lot of people, knowledge alone is not enough. Yeah. So a lot of the feedback we got in addition to what we've done so far is, well, actually, how do I take what I know? How do I make it to become a part of who I am so that my identity shifts and so that I'm not relying on my willpower? I'm then able to put in place certain habits that make the wealth building effortless, inevitable, and sustainable over time. And that's where this book comes in. This book we refer to as the system. Yeah, think of it like, imagine you've got an operating system for something to happen. This is the operating system for wealth to actually happen. Okay. Right? So it's got all the frameworks and so on. Yeah. So both of them are complementary. For some people, they might begin with a wealth habit, and that might be their way of getting into the book. I'd say that the wealth habit is a lot more global. Although it's written from the UK, Financial Joy is a lot more prescriptive for the UK. So it dives into ISAs and pensions and all of that. Whereas this is looking at the behavior, the habits, the mindset, the frameworks, the systems, the things that you might not think about. It looks at the neuroscience or the research or the psychology or the economic research. That's all in this book. Okay. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. That makes sense. So, yeah.
Okay. Cool. No, that's great.
Yeah.
No, thank you. But yeah, no, I just want to ask you one more question before we wrap up. Yeah. You guys obviously have 11-year-old and a 13-year-old. Yes. How do you teach your children about money? So what things do you implement in their lives growing up?
Okay, so from a young age, we've always taught them, like our son, he's recently turned 13, but they always receive money from their grandparents on their birthdays, whether it's Christmas or Easter. And we always teach them to invest a portion of it, save a portion of it, and then spend a portion and give some to charity. So they've always learned that it's whenever you receive money, you're not just going to spend it. They've already learned that, you know, money you should have different pots that serve different roles. And so because they've known how to budget from a young age, we might take them to Smith's, for example. There was a point where they were so into Lego models, and you know they can range from like £10 to
hundreds.
$100. They're so expensive. But when we go to the store, they would pick an item up and be like, oh, okay, actually this is over my budget. Let me get something else that's within my budget. And it's not because they don't have enough money. It's because they're using their money to invest for their future. And so talking of investments, they co-invest with us. So we opened up an ISA account, a junior ISA,
stocks and shares ISA,
and we show them their investments. We show them their account. Like they come and sit down with us. We tell them, okay, this money we're going to invest it now, and just you would tell them.
And they invest. They actually take the mouse. They sit down and take the mouse.
Click the buttons, and they decide how much money they're going to invest. And it's important because so that they're not so far removed from what's going on. If they can see their investments growing over time, then they're more likely to want to part with their money instead of spending it all. They're more likely to want to agree to invest some of it. And so, yeah, I guess it just helps them with that financial literacy. It's not all new and foreign to them. And other things is like every day, like whenever we, for example, are going out and we see maybe shops on the streets, we ask them like, what do you think the model is here? How do you think these stores are making money? And then we then have like that discussion. They basically break it down. Another things is that we teach them the importance of becoming producers and not just consumers. And we teach them that as long as you can be a person of value, someone who solves problems, you will always be able to earn money. And so instead of them just consuming like content all the time on YouTube, how about you create your own content and see how you can monetize? And we just allow them to be free and creative with it. There's no like hard set rules, because it has to be like they own it. They need to take ownership for it. Otherwise it's gonna be like, oh, mummy and daddy. You need to have the confidence, because with experience you build confidence, and it's like you're changing your identity. These children are from I'm a consumer to I'm a wealth builder, I'm a producer.
And we, in addition to that, like a big part of what I think is helping them is through them seeing our actions and our values as a couple, like how we live, because children just soak up what they see their parents doing, basically. So, like, they understand the decisions we make, like, I even say, like, I still say it today, like, when I walk into the house, I'm like, welcome to our mortgage-free home, I say stuff like that. I do it deliberately, like, I'm trying to, like, I'm trying to shift that relationship in here, and for them to understand, like, what we do, like even on the way, like this evening we went out for dinner, and, I was saying to them how, here's how mummy and daddy are working smart. We're going to a podcast today. And I was explaining to them why we're choosing to go on a podcast and why that matters for our work. So I'm shifting their mindset from just needing to just work hard only to how do I work smart, right? So we use real life current examples. We might see stuff in the news, like someone wants some money on a TV show, like we're discussing it. Like we watch Dragon's Den together. We're discussing like, should he or she have given away 10% of their business for 50K? What do you think about the valuation of the business? We discuss it. We're like, oh, this person's saying I want, 100K for 2.5%. We pause the video. We're like, what does that mean for the valuation of their business? So we're discussing real life things that are happening, whether it's in the news, whether it's on a school run, whether it's in our home. All those things help to shape their relationships. And then in real life, practical terms, we get them involved. Like Mary was saying with investing, like one of the things I really love is this idea of sitting down with them and saying, okay, we're now going to invest for the month. Here you go. Sit down here. I'll sit down next to you. What do you guys want to do? Like I was recently asking them like some examples of investments which they should consider, and ask them, what do you guys think? Should we invest or not? What's your pros and cons for investing in this? Or should we carry on investing how you've been investing so far? And let them make a decision. That's important. Taking that driving seat, like Mary said. And then the final one is, I really believe in the power of being enterprising. Things don't have to work out, but the fact that you tried, the fact that you experimented is great. So we pay for all the tools. We pay for editing packs, CapCut, all the things, all the tools, AI tools. We want them to get into these things, use them, try them, experiment, come up with stuff. They edit, they use Adobe, After Effects. Like our son, he's
better than I am now.
He's insane on Adobe After Effects. Wow. Like they use all these tools, right? But the mindset is what Mary said, which is becoming a net producer. So you can consume stuff, as long as you're producing more value, then over time, you will realize that you don't need anyone's permission to create wealth. You don't need anyone's permission. You don't need anyone's permission to create income or opportunity. You will spot opportunity everywhere. Even in like a bad economy, you will spot opportunity. So that's where the training is.
Yeah, and just a quick question. When you were both younger, you did your parents ever do that with you? No. Or is it now it's something that you've learned and implemented?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, so
it
starts with us. Now that we've got the information,
it's
for us to now start and implement.
But one thing I had from my parents though, was my parents, we have come from the Igbo culture.
Yeah.
Very enterprising.
Yeah.
They create businesses. Some of them go bust or don't work out. Some of them become very successful. So I learned a lot about risk taking from my parents, about trying. Even when something doesn't work out, what do you learn from it and what do you do next? So for me, that's important. I still reference my parents, my mom, my dad, my siblings, because culture matters a lot. In fact, when I talked about wealth earlier and what wealth means to us, a big part of it is your heritage. A big part of what that wealth is what are the ideas, what are the systems, what are the ways of thinking that have been passed down to you from the people that came before you. Right? That is a part of the wealth, And for me, a big part of it is our heritage matters so much because there's a lot of value in that. But a lot of us, because we live in the West and, we overlook our heritage a lot. Yeah. When in actual fact, we need to tap into that Nigerian they carry last. All of that stuff is truly where our grit, our resilience, our, creativity, that's where it all comes from.
Yeah. And for me as well, like being the youngest of older siblings, they all had their own businesses. Yeah. So it's something that I picked up. And which is an interesting thing because your children are more likely to do what you do and not what you tell them to do. Yeah. They really observe and they pick it up and that then forms their money blueprint. So we have a huge responsibility actually as parents to model the right behaviours that they're going to pick up. They will actually pick it up.
Yeah, thanks. Can I
cool.
question?
So what advice would you give like young married couples like us that are starting out with kids, etc.?
I need this answer, man.
Listen,
I'm just getting my notes out.
The first thing I'd say is, and I'm saying this with some sensitivity, is try as best as you can to really sow into your partner. So for you, your wives, basically. And that's important because, breaking up and divorce is a very expensive thing. You basically start again. And I know this because I've seen people where this has happened. So if you can really remember the priority, yourself and your spouse, that matters a lot. Because even when you have kids, start to forget about each other. You're like, the kids, everything's the kids. I make a very good point of making sure that Mary and I travel each year without children.
Without the kids, Yeah,
I can't wait for that.
Very important. And we started it early, actually, right? Early in our parenting journey, right? And that's because it's important to really sow into your marriage, right? As a really good starting point. The other thing I'd mention is, and again, I don't know who the audience might be, but your relationship with God matters so much, because it's what will sustain, what you have together. It's what will be like that glue that holds things together, because the world around us is driven a lot by what people see on social media. There's a lot of external pressures that actually affect relationships, a lot of external influences and that sort of thing. But so long as the two people are true to who they are, what their value systems are, what their vision is, that matters so much. You'll be ahead of the vast majority of people because you're not letting external voices influence what you have or shake your foundations. It's why I talked about God. It matters so much, right? Because it's everything, actually. Because without that, you have nothing, So a house built on strong foundations and a house that isn't divided will always stand. And money divides people, right? Especially when you start to go his and her money. Big problem.
Very big.
Straight away. Big problem. It's like you start to build siloed lives because suddenly it's like, I wanna hold my cards to my chest. I don't want you to know how much I'm making, and vice versa. Then there's lack of transparency, and then there's a problem. There's various problems that start to creep in, right? So one thing Mary and I did was we pulled all our finances together.
Totally.
Hey, why are you tapping me, bro?
No, because I've been screaming this, bro.
I don't disagree.
No, you don't disagree though, but I'm just saying, like, what I'm saying is there's a living proof, bro.
Yeah,
So we listen, I'll tell you, we've had the most incredible peace because of this one thing. And I don't want everyone, some people go, yeah, whatever. But I'm telling you, like, I can't tell you anything else. I can only tell you what I know. And I've seen the opposite with other people, right? And so people might look from afar and go, oh, how is it you guys are so calm? And, you know, it's because we're at peace. And when you're at peace is you trust each other, you're transparent about what you're doing, but you're doing everything together. Yeah. So that's another piece. And a third piece I'd add, and Mary will have a lot to add, but a third piece I'd add is the importance of visioning. So thinking 10 years ahead.
Yeah.
And I know this is hard because a lot of the world is uncertain. A lot of the future is uncertain. But so long as you have a sense of direction, like you might not know exactly where you're going to land, and that's fine because no one does. As long as you know together we're going to be heading in this direction because of X, Y, and Z, then that already again is you're not being pushed along by the wind.
Yeah.
Do you understand? You have something that you're aiming for. And that will change your relationship with money. It will change your behaviors over time. Because you have a vision, a life's vision. And that's important. A lot of people don't have any vision for anything. But because you have that vision, you'll be able to say no to that, yes to that, no to that, and so on. Because you know what you're trying to achieve. Yeah. Because a lot of time on our journey, people were like, oh, well, some of these things you guys are doing, why are you doing them? But now they look back, they're like, whoa, like, you know, that was like, I can see the thinking behind it.
No, thanks.
You know?
Yeah, he said it all. I think it's just important to be very self-aware, aware of what your values are, what you both want in life, and work towards it without having to try to keep up with the Joneses, because that in itself will cause a lot of pressure in itself. But also, like, money is the number one now cause of divorce. And I think knowing that will make you just want to do all you can possible to just do things together. And when I say do things together, like, I don't mean like you don't have to have a business together or anything like that. Just like what you said, have joint goals, something that you're both working towards. And then in the busyness of life, you know, it's easy to forget about certain things because a lot of what we've done is boring admin in terms of money management, right? So one of the habits we talk about in this book is to set and forget. It's basically talking about automation. And, you know, we talk about where your money should go. So like when you get paid, and then it's about deciding, basically every day we have up to, I think it's, 30,000 decisions a day.
More than 30,000 decisions we make per day.
And so for a lot of people, they suffer from brain fatigue, decision fatigue, right? Because you're thinking of so many things, and then especially if you're married and then you've got children, you've got a job, there's so many decisions that you make, right? And because of that, a lot of times you procrastinate on things that you should do. And one of those things is just automating maybe certain investments. So we call it the set and forget habit. And that's essentially, you're not worrying about your willpower. You're not trying to time the market. You're not trying to wait for the best time or when you're motivated to make certain investments. Basically, it's all being done automatically. So it's basically you're setting up the system where savings are growing, your investments are compounding, all whilst you're sleeping, basically. And we talk about it in more detail in terms of like how to do those automations and certain triggers that you can do to make it automatic, so that that's one less thing to worry about. You're basically paying yourself first, and then you can decide, you know, what's the rest you're going to live on.
I was going to add to that real quick. So in the Wealth Habit, there's an idea we teach in a book called the 80-20-7 rule. 80-20-7. What that says is when you earn money, live on 80% of it, save and invest 20%, and do it for 7 years. 7 years is far enough in the future to feel significant and close enough to the present to feel like it's not too far away.
Yeah.
Right? This matters so much and actually comes from a biblical story of Joseph, you might remember, and putting away a fifth of the grain during 7 years of abundance to then lead to the 7 years of famine that they had. And this idea works phenomenally well. And we share some case studies about how that might actually look for families or single people or couples or whatever. But the point there is if you think about, I don't know, how old are you guys right now?
30.
You're 30.
29.
Okay.
29.
29, okay. So as you're approaching, I remember when I was turning 30, a part of me felt quite sad actually, because I was like, wow, like I'm really getting old now. Like, you know, like I actually felt like that. Like,
Really?
that's how I felt. Yeah, like it's actually how I felt. I was like, wow, like 30, like this is,
that's how I feel now.
You know, so but I want to challenge you guys and say, what do you want your life to look like at 40?
Yeah.
Like I don't just want you to paint me some pictures. I want you to put it down in hard numbers with your partners. Sit down and be very specific about very clear outcomes. Yeah. Whether it's investment portfolio, whether it's your household, you know, mortgages, whether it's your property. It might even be where you are living in the world. I want you to be very clear, and this is what Mary and I did when we went to first in Zanzibar, in Tanzania, and next in Singapore. It was again a 10-year projection. Yeah. I think that moment where you're 29, you're 30, you're at that point where you're like, you know what? This is a key milestone year in my life. I need you guys to take half a day away, leave your home, put the kids somewhere, go to a different environment and say, what does our 10-year plan look like? And don't care what anybody else says, because there'll be people around you who might even discouraging. Oh, hey, how can you be thinking 10 years? Like, you don't even know what tomorrow might look like, blah, blah. Just ignore those people, right? Because if you look at other cultures, look at the Asians, look at the Indians, look at the Chinese, look at these guys are thinking 30 years, 50 years, 100 years, right? Look at some of the largest organizations in the world. They're already projecting what part of the world will dominate the world economically by the year 2100. And we know it's Africa and Asia. Go look at all the stats in the world. The stats are out there already, right? Based on all the projections around population data and, you know, and all of that, mortality rates and, you know, and so on. So if you have that insight, which you have, we all do, right? What kind of life do you want to create for yourself in the next 10 years? Yeah. And I think it's exciting. It's visioning, right? Yeah. And then from that 10 year, we then work backwards. Like we're now in 2026. Okay, well, 2036. What do we want 2027? You know, what does that look like?
Yeah.
And then you start to then get more tactical, things like tax efficient accounts and, you know, diversification and reading the wealth habits, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, that's
perfect,
amazing.
man.
Thank you.
No, thank you, man.
Thank you. Wow.
I wrote my notes. No, you know what? I love episodes like this because it defo makes you think about how much there is to achieve and also how you can go about doing that. So no, thank you guys very, very much. And thank you guys for being a real life example of what
we're
like,
appreciative.
definitely encouragement,
Yeah, it's a big encouragement.
I feel encouraged.
Yeah. I like to say, all right, bro. 10 years from
Come
now,
on.
we're working.
And I want to just tell you one last encouragement for you is you have youth on your side. You know, being 29, being 30, and anyone else watching.
Definitely.
You know,
do you believe
it
that?
might not feel like it.
I feel like
But
this morning now.
listen, it's a place of unique advantage. Because you have the opportunity to experiment and try things out. And also we're going through a technological revolution, right? With AI and so many exciting things are happening. So I guess 2 themes I want to mention real quick for, is number 1 is having this experimental mindset. Try things out. Don't be afraid. Like, put things out there, be bold, put things out there, try new ideas, create new apps, create new websites, create new digital products. Like, don't wait for just traditional models of how other people have done things. Try other avenues. And just see what happens. Like, you have nothing to lose, right? That's the first thing. The second thing, and this is what we're learning now in our early 40s, is the importance of health. Because for you to arrive in that future you want to arrive at, you need a healthy body to arrive with you, right? So, I remember Warren Buffett saying how, like, he had this example he gave.
Jamie's a waste man. Why is he looking at
Someone knows. I'm just taking everything.
He had this example he gave about, like, he said, like, imagine you could choose just one car that you could drive for the rest of your life. Just one. What car would you choose?
I can't pick one.
No, but just
Okay,
you could you could pick any car.
Okay,
bro.
Jelly Coupe.
For the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Wait, what car is it?
Jelly Coupe. Mercedes Jelly.
It's got to be a Toyota or a Honda for me,
Is it?
That will last the test of time.
Don't let this guy deceive you.
I find the
Let
answers.
this guy deceive. Yeah.
The answers are so what car would you choose?
Oh, that I drive for the rest of my life.
Something that's nice fits the family as well.
I'm a big boy, so yeah, no, Mercedes GLE SUV, pan roof.
Yeah.
Like,
So why did you pick that car?
I'm just thinking about a car big enough to fit me and be comfortable, and their family as well. So
Would you pick a brand new one, or would you pick, like, remember you're gonna have it for the rest of your life?
Rest of my life. Oh yeah, because at some point it's gonna get really old. But
It don't really matter.
yeah, it don't really matter.
You're going to pick something that's probably been tried and tested.
Yeah, maybe like a 2 years of maybe. So what? 2026, maybe 2024.
Okay. So this is interesting because you will pick something that you believe will stand the test of time. Yeah. The same thing applies to our bodies.
Yeah.
Like, our bodies need to be able to last us the next 60 years.
No bangers.
This one body, right? Like, you're not gonna get like another. You can't press a button and go, give me another one.
Yeah.
Right. It's this one body, right? So now that you guys are in your late 20s, people watching might be in their mid 20s, mid 30s, might even be in their 40s or whatever. The health is the thing.
Yeah.
Because, like, if the health is not really there, what's the point of you building your investment portfolio?
If you can't enjoy
Or
it.
like your property, like, no one cares. Like, other people,
Actually.
like, I'm going to say something that you might not have thought about. Like, if you're not here, this is a hard thing. It's a hard reality. When you're not there, your partner will end up remarrying. And another man...
And blow your bag.
No, hold on. And another man... investment. And another man will enjoy your investment.
Hey!
Okay, but that will not happen. God
And
forbid.
Just touch your balls like this.
I will hold them.
No, but we don't...
Me and the
Okay.
angels will
No, but
come
hold
and-
on. It will not, by God's grace. it will
Yeah,
happen.
100%.
But I'm just saying...
I know what
like,
you're talking about, though.
like,
yeah.
it, you want to be around to enjoy your children,
Yeah.
enjoy your partner, enjoy yourself.
Facts.
You want to be around, right? By God's grace. So God's given, pray for God to give us long life, so that we don't cut our lives short. Basically, that's the point I'm making. Is now that you have the youth and you have that momentum, that energy, like, bro, like, keep that. And the way you do that is through, firstly, you have the right partner, because some people will make you old.
Yeah, facts.
The wrong person.
Yeah.
You look 50 before you're even 40.
Yeah.
Right? So the right partner matters a lot.
putting in place the right financial system matters, because then you're removing stress, worry. What you're eating matters. Oh my goodness. What you put on your skin matters. I've got this app that Mary introduced me to called Yucca.
Oh, that one. Yeah, it tells you everything.
Yeah.
I scan things, man. Like, anywhere I'm going, I'm like, it's my kids. I'm scanning the thing. I'm like, cool. I want to be putting this in my body. Like, if this body's going to last me, decades, I want it to be in the best performance. A bit like having that car that you're going to have for the rest of your life. So it's just stuff like that, and then, obviously, then I've talked about the relationship with God and our spiritual lives. This is like fortifying your home. It's so important. Because when a marriage is going well, you get these, external spiritual attacks. Like, I'm not even going to go into these things exist. People don't think they exist, but they do. Right? You need to have that relationship. 100%, right? And then after that, your finances and all of that.
No, amazing. Thank you so much.
A lot of gems dropped this episode.
Honestly, man.
Even for our listeners, man. Production are here, bro. They've been listening to this whole conversation.
Everyone's silent today.
You don't have production interrupted. No, honestly, a lot of gems dropped, man. No, thank you both so much for coming through.
Thank you, man. We appreciate you guys, man. It means a lot to us that you honoured us, you invited us. That means a lot to us.
Thank you guys. But obviously, as everyone already should know, the Wealth Habit comes out in 10 days.
Yes.
Come on.
I think when this episode drops, it'll be the day it comes out.
It'll be out. 19th of March.
Yeah. But we'll do
19th of March. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Make sure you guys get your copy. Yeah, and also I'll be there to give a review in a couple months' time.
We're gonna do a review on this podcast.
We will. We'll both read the book and then we'll
read the book.
Yeah, man.
The link will be in the bio as well. Make sure you go and grab the book, man.
Yeah, and our thing is, if you're going to buy a copy, if your budget allows it, buy one more for somebody else. Gift a copy, give it to your partner if you have one, give it to a friend, your siblings, whoever. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All of that, will help this book get very far. Nice. Help this become a Sunday Times bestseller.
We can't do it without you guys.
Let's do it, guys.
And also, your other socials where everyone can find you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you can find us at The Humble Penny on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. We also have a blog at humblepenny.com where we publish blog posts once a week. And we also have an academy, Financial Joy Academy. We have our dream makers, that's what we call them. People who want to level up in their careers. Career maximization, they want to build wealth through property, online businesses, stock market investing. We have masterclasses, masterminds, and courses, and daily lunchtime clubs as well, where we break down.
You learn from us daily.
Yeah, basically learn from us daily, pick our brains, and coaching calls as well.
Where can they join that?
So that's at financialjoyacademy.com.
Yeah. Oh, perfect, man. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Make sure you join memberships, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Yeah, man.
Peace out.
I get P, my mum's living comfy. No, we ain't the same as them. My brother's cutting through the city in Mercedes Benz. My face is too, but I can't even go Tesco. Broke days, I had no money for the